Welcome to Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from Central California with your hosts Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas. Broadcasting video worldwide at ParanormalCentral.net and broadcasting audio on the Dark Matter Network at ArtBell.com. Are you ready to witness something you cannot explain?
I'm looking for you. You're looking for me. We have to decide what it will be. Can it be true? Can I believe the unexplained? Look into the sky. You realize you're not alone. Open your eyes. You can find the trails that control.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from the bottom left-hand corner of the Nevada Triangle. My name is Jeffrey Gonzalez. I am your host for the show. I'm also the founder of a group called the Sanger Paranormal Society. I've been investigating the paranormal for over 13 years now, so I'm just not up here talking about it, I'm actually living it. I have a team. One of the members is to the right of me, Mr. Alan Thomas, co-host.
Hi everyone, how are you? It is great to be here again.
And we usually have Emerald in the back corners, but not here today. She is sick again. Yeah, I think we're going to have to do an exorcism on her or something.
We're like tag teaming.
I don't know,
Between
man.
Heidi and Emerald and me, we are in and out of this place.
It's crazy. Well, I don't know what to tell you, but well, thank you very much for showing up wherever you may be. Been doing this a while now, and I'm glad if you finally found us, I'm glad you're here. We are broadcasting live HD quality video on live stream worldwide. You can get there to our go to our website at ParanormalCentral.net, and that'll take you to the right direction. We are no longer on the ArtBell.com website being broadcasted through them, so we will find another avenue here pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. Tonight we have another great show for you guys, just like we have every week. I hope you guys enjoy what you are viewing every week. Every week we try to step it up for you guys, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. We're having a blast doing what we're doing. I mean, we like investigating the paranormal. It's just fun stuff. You know, we're like little kids in a candy store, and we're not going to stop. We're going to keep on going. You know, there are people out there trying to bring us down, and there are people trying to copy what we're doing, and I'm catching them every week. It's flattering because they are very big time talk shows out there who are trying to steal content from us. So it's cool, very cool. All right, well, thank you guys for showing up wherever you may be. We are, like I said, we have a great show for you guys tonight, and we have a great show for you next week. And I'll tell you about that in a little while.
Turn mine a little bit down, too.
Down?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
There we go. Sounds
and
good.
I can't wait to tell you what's going to be happening next week. We're just going to have fun. We're going to have like a show and tell next week. And, the studio next week, we're going to change it totally. What you see right now, it's going to be totally different. Because I'm going to bring in some stuff from, let's just say, from another location. And we're going to fill the studio with a bunch of stuff. And I'll tell you about that at the end of the show. So, all right. Let's go ahead and go with the show. We have Danny. Oh, you know what? We have Danny Valderrama, who we usually call, and we're going to call him right now. He is our Bigfoot reporter.
And he's sitting somewhere down in a basement.
Yep, Mr. Danny Valderrama.
Because his wife sends him there.
Yep.
He's all chained down, too. You know, all he has is a phone, and he's got these little clamps on his legs. Because he turns into a Bigfoot when it's a full moon.
I think that's scary looking, too, let me tell you. All right, let's go ahead and get a hold of Mr. Danny Valderrama. Hold on here. You know, I wouldn't be doing this. Miss Emerald would be doing this, but she is, not here, so I have to do it, and I hate it when that happens, but, oh well, we got to do it. All right, let's see, Mr. Danny, where are you?
Mr. Danny. Remember one rainy day?
Danny. He's not saying anything. I know he's there.
Waiting for my music.
The music is there. You're just on delay, fool.
Cue the music.
Alan has to be singing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Everybody will die or go deaf if I do that.
You can't hear the music?
Yeah, I can hear it.
All right. Gosh, dang it. All right. So what's up, dude?
This is my one show for every 3 months, I guess.
One show for every 3 months.
That's what they're saying online.
Really? I thought you were here like every week almost.
I've been here every week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm here more than you guys.
they're probably talking about when you're on vacation.
I'm here more than you guys.
You
Whatever.
went like 2 full weeks without a vacation. I
know. I can't believe it.
You must be jonesing.
So hey, your daughter's in town?
Yep.
How long?
Getting ready to go to dinner till next weekend.
Next weekend? So they let her off that long on the Coast Guard?
Yeah, a week.
A week?
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right. All right.
Getting ready to go to dinner.
Yeah. Then that means we should have them on here for a long time and just keep talking to them. That way they can leave without them.
Well, we disconnected. What?
I know I suck.
I know they
suck.
chained him down, so they have to go unchain him anyways. He's not going anywhere in that basement.
That's right. They'll just bring you a plate and throw it down the stairs, dude. That's what I usually do.
That's what they usually do.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, throw him a Snickers. There you go.
Get leftovers.
And, we had people complaining to us that we're very hard on you, Danny.
Yeah.
That's all right. I can take it.
Like, wah, wah.
That wasn't me complaining.
I know. No comment. Ay, ay, ay. The fans we have and the trolls that we have as well. Gotta love and hate them both at the same time. So, all right. Okay, so Danny Valderrama sent us over some photographs, and we're going to get to them right now. Let me go ahead and switch over. Mr. Danny. For those who don't know, Danny Valderrama is our Bigfoot reporter. This guy is up on the hairy monster obviously they're all over the world. So this guy's up on what's going on. So we brought him on board because he knows what he's talking about. And apparently a lot of people think so too.
News to me.
All
Get it
right.
off from a fortune cookie.
That's it.
Yeah.
No kidding. Huh? Oh, my God. No, we're screwed. All right. Picture number 1 is up. North American Wood Ape Conservancy. Go for it.
Wood ape.
All right.
Wood ape.
Yep.
That's
This is what they call it in Oklahoma. And this is from Como News in Oklahoma from Thursday, January 14th. And this has been a 4-year Bigfoot research project in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And many people having many sightings of something, just a quick visual. There's got to be something to it. Something they're seeing something large and hairy walking around where it shouldn't be. So enter the North American Wood Conservancy. And one member, Daryl Coyler, he was formerly of the U.S. Air Force Base somewhere out there. And he thought it was all made up, a big phony thing. So he made a promise to his buddies in there that when he got out, he'd go and research this and find out if it was real or not. So he was skeptical until believing was his only choice. He was on a trail by himself, and 40 to 50 yards in front of him, he sees a figure on the side of the trail, and it jumps. He said it looked like a long jumper, jumped across the trail in a single leap, landed on the other side of the trail, hit some limbs, skipped, hopped, and it was gone. And he was just left standing there saying, okay, I got to believe in this thing because I just saw it. So picture number 2, there's the North American Wooded Conservancy, and they started 4 years ago out in the mountains out there in the Ouachita Mountains, this project. And that's what you're seeing right there, the Ouachita Project monograph. And it's a 229-page report that they just published, and it's available online. And so this Daryl Collier, along along with 62 other people from the group, decided to put in the time and try to get to the bottom of this mystery out there. So in the 4 years that they were out there, 12,000 hours of observation time they put in, and they came out with this 229-page report. It details consistent, unusual patterns, noises, and other findings that they found during this 4 years out there. And picture number 3 shows them collecting some of the evidence. And how did they collect the evidence out there with 62 members? What they did was that every week during the summer months, they would camp out there, and they would go in teams. Between 2 to 6 members would go out each week, and every week there'd be a different shift that would come out. So in that 4 years, they documented 49 sightings of Bigfoot, or the wood ape is what they call it. And they had wood knocks consistently, and this was all in southeast Oklahoma. They had rocks thrown at the researchers. They had rocks thrown at their cabins. But they did get some pictures, but nothing good enough to prove that it was Bigfoot. And as compelling as all their evidence is, they say they're not offering it as proof of Bigfoot because they don't believe it's enough evidence just yet.
Awesome.
But they wanted to put it out there.
Awesome. And I'm totally for what they're doing, because I think that if you have the evidence of all evidences, plural, then put it out there and let's blow them away. But if you got something that's not quite what we think it is, then don't do it. And we don't do that here. I mean, if we think we got something that's going to blow you guys away out there, then we're going to show it to you. But otherwise,
isn't this the one Kathy Strain and Bob Strain?
This is the one. This is the actual one. So their sighting is included in those 49 sightings. So we know it's a legit group there. They're doing the work in there. So this is the same group that they're involved in.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays a video or a picture is not going to prove it unless like the one David Ragosa got in 2007. We all know what it is. Me standing in the same place and its head being 4 feet taller than me. That's, I think, enough. I mean, a lot of people said it. You know what? A lot of people said it was the tree that made that. It was the tree. I mean, when you say that photograph is just the tree, a shadow of the tree, they can't say it's a bear because it's too. It's just no way. But when they say it's a tree, a lot of people said it was a tree. A shadow of the tree. Absolutely ridiculous. And that made them, those people who said that was a tree, just stupid. But all right, go ahead.
Yeah, there are hanging little trackers that they would put hanging off of branches, like 7 feet off the ground. So then they have like little snares in them that something 7 feet walks by, it'll snag in their fur or whatever they have, and it'll take off with them, and they're able to track where it goes. And recently they said one of the trackers was picked up and it was activated, but they don't have any information of where it was going or anything like that. So
that's
money there.
That's not
a
cheap.
pretty good idea.
Yeah, that's not cheap. Whatever they have as far as trackers and stuff. I mean, if they have such a thing, that's not cheap.
No, it's not that expensive, really.
You don't think so?
Nah, they put them on fish and lions and everything nowadays. It's not really that big of a deal. Now, what would be not cheap is if it took some DNA and everything and then dropped off and, fell on the ground and then still, beeped so that you could go find it and retrieve the DNA and all that stuff off of it. That would be cool. I mean, that would be expensive.
Right.
But just a little responder thing, tracker, nah.
All right. Next one.
Okay, the next one's from the Crypto Crew from January 13th. And this one's from England. And there aren't many reports from England, but we get them from time to time. This person that filed the report didn't want to be contacted about what they saw, and they didn't want to have their name published. And that usually comes because of all the ridicule you get when you say you saw a Bigfoot.
Right.
But they live in England, and the county is Nottinghamshire, County. And this is from December 27th, 2015. And it was around 1 a.m. It was about 3 seconds that they saw it, and there were 5 witnesses in the car.
Ooh.
It was a family, and they were on their way back home from a Christmas party. And picture 1 shows the aerial view of where it happened. And they were driving along Orthorpe Road, heading towards A46, approaching a corner just before Eaton Park Nursing Home. And their headlights caught something on the side of the road before they made the turn. And it was standing there on the side of the road. They said it was about 6 feet tall, covered in reddish-brown hair. And the whole family saw it. So it had dark eyes, a human face, and they don't know exactly what it was. But he felt that he should report it because in case there was a large cat on the loose or something, he wanted to give everybody a heads up. But the description he just gave, standing up 6 feet tall, is not that of a cat. So
no.
he said his son said it was a monster standing on the side of the road. So
Yep.
5 witnesses, they all saw something. So everything that they say backs up everything on Google Maps is just as they described it. So the next picture shows the actual intersection. And they said it was like there was a little, what I think they called it a standby, which is a little area where a car can pull off the road. And he said it was standing in that area. And that's the second picture that you see. So it looked like it was standing off on the right side of the road. So they saw something, but they saw...
Now, Bigfoot costumes are really not that. I mean, in the UK, I mean, you really can't buy many Bigfoot costumes. You would think, because right away people are going to go, well, if somebody was wearing a Bigfoot costume, walking across the street. Well,
I think they could, but you'd be more safer over there running around in one because they don't own guns. Over here, you're an idiot if you go running around. I mean. You'll get run over or shot over here.
Right.
But over there.
And that has happened.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, he wasn't wearing a Bigfoot costume. He was wearing a ghillie suit.
But still,
Yeah,
I
if I
mean,
park.
it's dangerous over here, man.
Sorry, but that's funny.
Granny will shoot you. But over there, I don't know. There's like a big argument over there, like if there's even a Bigfoot or not.
Right.
Because it's like a big island, is England.
Mm-hmm.
You could drive across it in shorter time than you can drive down California.
I don't know.
California's huge.
Sounds like a stowaway.
Could be. Or else he landed his UFO and then just took a hike.
There you go. I didn't say it.
A lot of people say that.
Yep. I agree. All right, next.
All right, the next one is from, it's a video. It's from eastern Texas near the Arkansas border. And this was put on his Facebook page by Michael Brookerson. And it was actually put on a couple years ago, and people were asking for it again, so he put it back up, and it's making the rounds right now.
Okay, so this is just what did he? It's I made it in 31 seconds. So he's just what is he doing? He's talking and letting everybody hear
actually,
something?
he's showing somebody, or somebody's letting him look at the video. It's some roars, the Texas roars, and what they did was they call blasted a Bigfoot, and they got an immediate response. And what you're hearing there is the immediate response. And while it's yelling, he says that there's 3 wood knocks that happen really quick.
Okay.
So you hear boom, boom, boom.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play that right now, and I'm gonna turn it up. So all you
He
guys.
kind of talks over it, but they play it twice.
Okay,
Cool.
here we go. Hold on.
I put up some
real Sasquatch response.
Okay, ready? Here we go.
You're going to hear it recorded Ohio howl, and within about 3 seconds, you're going to hear a real Sasquatch response to that. And it's extremely almost frightening because the response to the recorded one is so full and loud and penetrating.
Right. This
So-
is my favorite recording I think of all time. This is that Texas response. There's the call blasting. geez, they kicked up a bigot.
Here it is again.
That's a call blast.
Recording. My goodness.
I know it's just in there.
Can I talk to you about
You
that?
got wood knocks in there. He gets
Can-
3 wood knocks and then another wood knock.
To me, we've been listening to some Bob Garrett and stuff, but to me, that sounds like that's a challenge.
I was saying, he's like, if he thought that this was another Sasquatch that he didn't want in his area, he's issued the challenge to
That's
him.
it.
I think.
That's it. That's it. I totally agree.
Very cool. Now, the sound that we heard wasn't quite like that.
No.
It was like King Kong, man. Danny?
Yeah, it was King Kong.
It was King Kong.
I recently put that up again,
Yeah.
and brought it up to the YouTube and put it as the channel trailer, I guess you would call it. And I'm getting a lot of responses. I mean, some people can't hear it, and I could hear it really good, even on my cell phone. I don't know why they can't hear it.
Because they don't know what to
they're
listening for. Right. Unfortunately.
And it, everybody's saying, well, it should be, if we're feeling it, it should have been louder, on the recording. But
Yeah.
it was, we were using a cell phone. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and what do you call it? A iMic?
It was an iRig mic back in the days, when $58 got you at that point, But now I have the top of the line recorder,
yeah.
so if we ever get that
Well,
again.
I mean, I put those recordings too, and everybody could hear that really good.
Okay. The one at Tule, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the only gripe they had was we're talking.
Yeah, you guys were.
But only, you're not thinking about it when you're the recorder's just sitting there, and we forget all about it sitting
Right,
there, and then Bigfoot starts going off, and you're like, whoa, you get goosebumps, and your hair stands straight up, and you get tears, and you're ready to run, and they're ready to drive away.
Right.
It's different.
The bad side about that too is that if you guys are talking, and then they get mad, but if you sit there and just listen to the screams, they say, "Why aren't you guys talking?" Those aren't real because you guys aren't even talking and reacting to them.
Oh yeah.
Didn't even think about that. So it's
you can't win.
You can't win. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see
Well,
what
a
you're
lot
saying.
of what they don't realize on the one from Thule is that's like 3 hours, okay, and I cut out all the dead time when it wasn't,
Right.
so it's like one yell after the other yell, so really it's 3 hours, and we after you just don't sit there quiet for 3 hours, you know what I mean? We're all sitting there chatting, and then all of a sudden Bigfoot goes off, and then everybody looks at each other and they want confirmation. They're like, "Did you hear that?"
Right.
And I mean, that's basically all you hear is Bigfoot yelling and us going, "There he is again,"
Right.
But it was maybe an hour or 45 minutes between, what is it, screensaver? Hour or 45 minutes between the screens.
Right.
So you're right, you can't win.
Can't win.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Next
So
one.
these are the pictures. He says that he has seen one up close, and it's the big red is what he calls him. And I don't know if this is a picture of Big Red, but this is one of the pictures he posted.
Right.
And then he says he does have hair, and this next picture is an email that he got from somebody he was going to send the hair sample to, and saying that they looked under the microscope, and it's consistent with Sasquatch hair. Only problem is there is no Sasquatch hair to compare it to, because it hasn't been confirmed.
Right.
So
That we know of, anyways. But yeah.
it comes up as unknown primate.
Right.
And the last picture is the picture of the hair that he has, and he does have footprints. He has reports of him visual sightings, and he has another report of, well, he was out fishing on a lake with some guys. Stumps were being thrown at them. So, and who else could throw a stump like that? Not a bear. So
Maybe a bear that escaped from a circus.
could be a walking bear.
Because that would be
Wearing a hat.
that would be basically somebody else's excuse or theory. It's a bear. It escaped from a circus and it's throwing SHAT at you.
Yeah, he didn't want to scare the guys that were with him. They didn't believe in Bigfoot, so he said it just was a landslide and dropped it at that. Pretty cool stuff out there.
Right on.
Something's out there watching us in the woods.
That's right. So we got to go back and when Memorial Day? Well, January, March, April, May. That's still a long way to go, dude. That's 5 months. That's 5 months away.
We got there before that.
We
heard the screams in March.
Really, January? Okay. Well, then you know what? And we walked in. That's right. We walked in because the gates were locked, right?
Yep. Oh. We heard them when we first walked in, and we kept walking because we had to get the cameras.
Right.
We didn't just turn and run.
Okay.
Yeah. We didn't just run.
We dragged Alan down there.
Well, and that's why we take Alan, because we can run faster than him. Sorry, Alan.
Yeah.
You're the bait. Come on.
That's right.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Now, don't send hate mail. All right, you guys, seriously. We're joking around. All right? I can already see him already. Oh, son of a bitch. Leave Alan alone. How rude. You guys are just mean. I am defriending you right now from Facebook. Damn it. Okay.
He's by your side every night.
Okay. All right.
Cheryl has to scoot over.
Yeah, whatever. All right, dude, I'm going to let you go so you can go to dinner.
All right.
All right, have a good time.
Well, tell everybody I said hi.
behave.
Yeah, all right. See ya.
I'll get another report about you guys.
Yeah, whatever.
All right.
You guys suck. Okay, bye.
Bye.
See ya. All right. Mr. Danny Valderrama. Yeah. Guys, we can be serious here on this show, and we can have fun at the same time. So, take it for what it is. We're trying to make this show very enjoyable for you guys. And sure, we're going to crack jokes at each other, and we're going to say nasty stuff about each other. We've been friends for a long time, so we can do that. All right. So there you go. Hold on a second. What are you doing, dude? Okay. All right. Now, you guys, see, we've been talking for the past couple of weeks. We brought it up about the gas leak in Porter Ranch, California, which is Southern California. And I received a mail, a parcel from Richard Shaw. For all those who don't know, he is the guy behind the Torah Codes. And he sent me a new video of his Watchers series. And my wife, Cheryl, was looking at it, the parcel itself, and noticed the return label address said Porter Ranch. And she goes, what? And I went, huh? So a little while ago, I emailed Richard, and I said, dude, do you live in Porter Ranch? And if you do, is the methane gas leak affecting you? And he responded back right away, and he says, yes, I live in Porter Ranch, and yes, it is affecting our family. And I went, oh, my God, we got to get you on the air. So he has agreed to come on the air right now, live from Porter Ranch, where the gas leak is occurring, and he's going to give us the whole scoop, you guys. We got somebody who lives there, who's smelling this freaking gas, who's going to call in right now, and he's going to tell everybody out there around the world what's actually going, what he's actually seeing, trucks that are coming in, what they are doing. We got the scoop, guys. So I am going to call him right now. We're going to get him on the line. This is awesome. I was not expecting for him to come on, but it's like he said, yeah, let's do this. So I'm calling his number right now. Let's get Richard on the line from Porter Ranch, you guys. This is crazy. Got somebody from the actual location.
We're waiting for California to go boom. Look, just strike a match.
Hello.
Richard.
Hey, Jeffrey, how are you?
I'm doing good. How's it going?
I'm good.
Awesome. How's it smelling over there?
Coughing and wheezing a bit.
Oh, no kidding. Dude, I couldn't believe you live there in Porter Ranch. I'm saying that's awesome, but not for you. That's awesome for us.
We're about 2 miles away.
Man, that's close.
Yeah.
You can light a match.
Hi, Richard. Does it have a smell?
Hey, man.
So just don't light a match, dude, whatever you do. All right. Well, okay. So we got somebody on the front line. So So this has been happening since October.
Yes, it has. It actually has. I had to go to Israel for the first 2.5 weeks of November, so I didn't really notice anything. When I got home, I opened the front door and I smelled gas. I went to the garage to get the gas wrench because it smelled like we had a leak around the house somewhere. So I asked my wife, I said, I smell gas. And she said, oh, we got a note from the gas company that they have a leak and they're trying to fix it. Well, it got worse and worse and worse, so I finally looked into it and started really studying what's going on, and it turned out to be a really huge and catastrophic problem.
Now, we didn't get wind of it. Oh, gee, excuse the pun. Until just recently. We're talking, a couple of weeks ago is when it finally hit mainstream. It's been hitting you guys for over 2 months. Why? Obviously they kept it a secret.
Well, it's been leaking since something like October 23rd. I didn't really notice the smell until I got back, and that was like mid-November. And it smelled like a gas leak. You'd walk outside and you'd smell this smell of gas. But then what happened was they ended up doing a infrared view of the whole gas leak, so you could actually see it visibly, and it was enormous. And then they started doing readings, and basically 55.11 tons of methane was spewing out per hour.
God.
Which is like an amazing amount of methane. And also mercaptans, which is that horrible smell that you get that they put in the gas so that you know that you have a leak.
Right.
So it's not really natural?
It was starting to make people sick. Like they had, recently I've heard that even some animals that were living outside have died from it.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Now, are these animals dying that are really up close to, or 'cause, 2 miles away? Are you guys in the direct wind of it?
Well, it's hard to say exactly because they don't really show an actual propagation map, but the LA Times has shown test points where they've gone out and measured the air to see what's in it at various places. We live just off of Corbin, which is in Porter Ranch. They're building a huge development just above us. They've been working on it for 2 years now. And at one point, I had even wondered if maybe that set off the leak. But, that's just speculatory because they were using dynamite to level the hills across the street from us to put in these luxury houses. And so, like, every afternoon, we'd hear this emergency horn go off and then blam, and we had times where stuff would go flying off the shelves in the garage. So now I don't know if that could affect anything, but the shock wave from that was consistent and happened on a daily basis for months.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And anyway, this line that actually failed is one of there's various figures that I've read about or heard about, and basically is anywhere between 95 and 115 wells on this knoll that's above Porter Ranch that go down some 8,000 feet into an underground storage facility where they pumped natural gas down there to store it. And this particular line that broke was sunk in 1954 and was highly corroded. And in 1979, they discovered that this particular gas well had a broken safety valve. And so they went to replace it and realized that the parts were obsolete and they didn't know how to order them. So they just said, well, it's safe. It's not within 300 feet of anybody's house. So they just left it. Naturally, that's the one that broke. So it had no safety valve on it because they failed to put a new one on. So that is just downright negligence.
Big time. Now, I heard that a judge was issued an order to the Southern California Edison that the family surrounding this actual leak, and I don't know how many miles or how many feet, but they are making Southern California Edison pay $8,000 for each family to relocate until the gas leak is repaired. Is that true?
Well, it would be SoCal Gas, I think, that would be doing that.
Oh, okay.
They've already relocated something like, I don't know an exact number, or I would tell you that I would estimate between 2,300 and 2,500 people. And we thought that, we were doing okay, but both my wife and I our lungs feel irritated and we get really tired in the afternoons. So we think we're starting to, our bodies are starting to rebel a bit over it.
Yeah.
Even though they've cut down the quantity, they've somehow diverted some of the gas. They have said recently in the LA Times that they've diverted 40% of the leak back into another part of the well, or what you're actually selling it off so they can reduce the pressure. And the pressure from originally I had heard was 2,700 PSI, which is really a lot of pressure. It's down now, they say, to 1,500 PSI. But the interesting thing about all this is this leak occurs only a couple miles away from the Santa Susana disaster that happened in 1959. And most people don't know anything about that, but there was a company there that named Rocketdyne that helped put a man on the moon by designing rocket engines, but they had also installed 10 nuclear reactors. And one of them had a partial meltdown.
Great.
And in those days, they didn't even have like a containment dome or anything like that. So this thing released toxic, essentially radioactive material all over the local area. Now, in 1959, there weren't nearly as many people there as there are now, but now you've got 500,000 homes in the area. So when I read that it also contaminated something like 10 or 11 underground water wells, it made me wonder if this Aliso Canyon gas leak was also spewing some kind of radioactive substance into the air. And this was like something that I have no way of knowing, and I'm sure they wouldn't tell us if it was. But so what I went and did was to buy a radon gas detector, and I installed it in my house. And so far, it hasn't picked up anything more than normal base level radiation. So that was at least I wanted to know for myself and not just take their word for it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they've kept this from you guys for a while, and then I wouldn't trust them at all now. Is this the Porter Ranch? Is it? And my wife was telling me this. Is this where they filmed E.T.?
Oh, I think that in the local area here, it might have been more towards Sunland. I'm trying to remember where that house actually was, but it's a general area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Porter Ranch is kind of a newer community. E.T. came out, in like 81 or something?
Yeah.
So most of these houses were built in the late 80s to the early 2000s. I believe the house we're living in was built in 2005.
Okay.
And they're, we're not living in any kind of lap of luxury here, but it is a nice house. It's a gated community, and it kind of is away from Hollywood. That's where we lived before we moved here.
Mm-hmm.
We actually lived on Beechwood Avenue for a while, right under the Hollywood sign, but it got so noisy there, I couldn't do my work anymore. So I started looking for a quieter location and liked Porter Ranch, and that's how we ended up here.
And now you have the gas leak. Man, now this is...
Now we have the gas.
Now...
So we're not sure we want to stay here.
No,
on
well...
a long-term basis.
Well, you know what? I mean, if it's affecting you, is there somewhere where you can go and say, hey, we're getting sick, we're out of here, you need to pay for us to relocate? I mean, have you thought about that seriously?
Well, yeah, we have. Since we didn't smell it as bad, we thought maybe that they had relieved some of the pressure, and they indeed had, but we're still, our lungs still feel irritated. So it's not just that you can smell or not smell the mercaptans, but I don't know what the methane is doing to us. And of course, all they come out and they say, well, there's no immediate danger from it, and there's no lasting physical effects from the gas and all of that. And, and It's easy to say if you're not living in Porter Ranch.
Right.
You would think that first it would build up in your system after a while, like get saturated in there. And then if you do want to move, you're not going to get the price or value,
Well, I don't think they're going to move. They're just going to relocate, and gas company is going to pay them to move to an apartment or a condo someplace until it's until it's fixed, and then they can move back.
They've moved 2 elementary schools since this started.
Wow.
They combined classes with, I think, a middle school.
Holy.
These preschool kids are more sensitive to the gas than most of the adults are.
Yeah.
Some of the kids in our area were having nosebleeds.
That's what I was hearing too.
And or getting sick to their stomach. A lot of the adults were getting headaches and nausea. Some people were affected more than others. I was just driving down the street the other day and suddenly felt really nauseated out of the blue, and I didn't even know why. So you don't want to feel like you have some kind of psychosomatic illness that you're just kind of willing this onto you. But when it continues happening day after day, then I think there's more to it than just imagining you don't feel good.
Right. Wow.
And I would be afraid, you start your car, and
Now, is this
Kaboom.
gas flammable? I mean, how flammable is this gas?
Well, it's the same gas that we cook with and heat our houses with.
Well, then,
it's the exact same gas, so it is flammable.
Well,
what's going up in the air is flammable. In fact, they were talking about having a burn-off of this to reduce the pollution from it.
Right.
But they were afraid it could cause an explosion.
Right.
So
the whole mountain
they canned that idea.
Yeah. I mean, right? I'm not saying that terrorists are listening to the show, but that right there is
Scary.
a disaster waiting to happen. Some idiot can go up there and light a skyrocket towards that gas leak, and then boom.
Well,
it's too hard to get to. It's way up on top of a mountain, and you have to go through a guardhouse and everything else to get up to it. So, the FAA has approved a no-fly zone over it.
Right.
The reasons that they gave were that it could make a pilot sick while he's flying through it and not realize.
Right.
Lose control of his airplane.
Yeah.
Or other pilots have said, well, we're more worried about it creating an engine fire.
Exactly.
Yeah. No kidding.
While they're flying through it. So, but yet, on YouTube, when you see these reports come through and people post them on YouTube, one of the comments that I read was from a pilot. He said, what no flight rule? He said, I fly over Aliso Canyon all the time, no problem. I don't know if they're really enforcing it.
Oh, my
Probably
God.
not. That stuff is really flammable. There was a guy out. It was a few years ago, but he was on where I-5 runs out on the west side of California.
Sure.
It's like desert out there, kind of like. And this guy was using a 30-06 and was
headed towards the Grapevine.
And he shot from I think it was a half a mile. He was shooting at rabbits and he missed. But his bullet went and hit a natural gas line pipe, and it fried him. I mean, he was a half a mile away, and the explosion killed him.
Oh, my goodness.
And so you could imagine, what happened was the pipe ripped. It exploded all along the whole pipe, right? And just made this big, giant long... That's what could happen under the mountain right there. It's all
I have a good friend who works at Special Effects Unlimited in Hollywood. And they have to make gas fires all the time for motion pictures.
Oh, yeah.
And one thing that they have to do, there's two of my friends there. One is Alan Hall. He's a 2-time Oscar winner for his special effects. He did Backdraft, and he did Forrest Gump, and he did Pirates of the Caribbean, and Constantine, and on and on and on.
Wow.
And my friend Bob Williams built the original Terminator robot that that basically started something. And so one day I said, I need some fireball effects that I can shoot. And he goes, okay. So he locked me in a shipping container on their property and brought this flamethrower out. and put up some black velvet and shot this thing at me. And it was it was really, no pun intended, it was a real gas to be doing it. But what I learned from the process was that when you ignite liquid propane or some kind of a gas, it expands to an incredible degree. So even though I didn't get hurt in the slightest because this guy's a professional and knows what he's doing, there were old pieces of rusty plumbing pipes in the back of this empty shipping container. And every time that he'd shoot a fireball at me, some big heavy object would fall off the back wall. And it was only because the gas expands to such a degree. And he said, we have to be careful when we're doing these effects in a house because it can blow all the windows out from the pressure it creates.
Whoa.
So you can imagine if this thing exploded, what would happen? I mean, it would be catastrophic. So I'm glad they're not going to try to light it off because I think that would be really foolhardy at this point.
Now, you told me...
It would be really dumb.
Yeah, you told me you drive near the entrance or the location and you see trucks coming in and all that kind of stuff. Is that like a daily occurrence, or do you think they're up there, trying to fix it as we speak, or do they have engineers?
Oh yeah, they're drilling a second well. You remember the whole Deepwater Horizon situation in the Gulf?
Mm-hmm.
The only way they can stop this is to drill a second well to the source of the leaking well and pump concrete down there to cap it at the source, and that's what they're currently doing. The last report that SoCalGas sent us said that they've already are down to 7,100 feet underground, and that was a few days ago. So I imagine they're approaching the 8,000-foot level with this second well now. They're estimating it'll be capped off by the end of February, but I kind of think that they're padding their estimate by a factor of 10, because if they're already that deep, they probably are trying to cap it as soon as they can, because they've already lost almost $14 million of natural gas that's just gone up into the air.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. Like they're like spewing out dollars.
Well, and what is it doing to the atmosphere, to our?
Probably not that much, really.
You don't think so?
No.
Cows are probably doing.
No, it's actually, they say it's something like per hour the equivalent of 170,000 cars being driven for a year.
Yeah, but like a volcano, it spews way more than that. So I mean, it's not enough. I don't think to really do anything.
It's also equivalent, they say, to 25% of the entire emissions of California's pollutants per year.
Wow.
And that is how, per hour or per day or what, that the methane is being released?
I really don't know if they're talking about it per hour or weekly or whatever, but the point I'm trying to get across here is that it's massive.
Yes, it is.
The problem is you can't see it unless you're looking at it through a FLIR cam, forward-looking infrared camera.
Right.
And then that makes it look black.
Right.
Great.
But if you look on that article that I wrote about it, there's links in there that you can post. And in fact, Rachel Maddow did a really good story on MSNBC.
Yeah, that's a
couple of weeks ago.
Correct. That's the first I heard.
They had
it
a
mainstream.
FLIR cam. Yeah, they had a FLIR cam on it in full color, and you could see this enormous cloud bank coming off the mountain and falling down into the city below.
Oh.
Yeah, that stuff that sinks to the ground. So like if it's above you,
it's heavier than air.
Yeah, it's rolling down, to you. It doesn't float off. Well, some of it, but the main body of it goes down. That's probably what killed the animals. They're probably down in like a low depression, and then that filled up and pushed the oxygen out.
Oh, and then they suffocated.
It could be.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, didn't think about that.
They say it's the largest natural gas leak in the U.S. history.
Wow. And you guys got one more month of it, looks like.
Yeah.
Well, maybe two, and then some people say it won't be fully taken care of for a year.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know.
That's like, and then Jerry Brown. Jerry Brown didn't come
It's
and.
a feeding frenzy for the lawyers.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
If I was you, I would have one too. You know, you might as well sue him. You know, while you're at it.
Yes. Have your wife punch you in the nose and then take a picture of the nosebleed.
Yeah, I know. It's like Jerry Brown didn't even show up
No, he didn't.
and make an appearance here until January 6th, which is months after the thing happened. He says, well, we've been working on it in Sacramento, but I think it
Yeah.
angered a lot of people
Sure.
that he took so long to show up after such an enormous disaster.
Did he have
He's
a?
a wuss. You know, he probably thought he was going to get lung damage.
Did he have a
or
gas
something,
mask on him when he arrived?
I don't know. I didn't see him when he came. I just
rolling
know
out
when
in
he
a
did
plastic
show up.
bubble.
Jeez. What a loser. I mean, Mr. Jerry Brown. So, okay. So what's going on with you, Richard? I mean, I know this is like messed up for you and everything, but you're a very busy man. So what's going on with now? Hey, did this show up in any of the Torah codes? This massive gas leak?
Oh, I don't know if Rabbi Glazerson has looked up anything about this particular leak. He's so infatuated right now looking at Messiah codes. I've never seen anything like it. He
Dude,
he told me last time he was in Los Angeles that a group of rabbis have rented an office in Jerusalem to do nothing but look up Gematria and Torah codes on Messiah.
Oh my God!
And they're finding a lot of codes that point to this year. Now, we don't know what that means, because in their respect, it's a very Judaic kind of thing. But they keep finding codes about it, and I think it's interesting, if anything.
Okay. Now you're saying Messiah, the Messiah. We're talking
Jesus. Yeah.
2016.
Well, to the Christian community, that would be Yeshua, Jesus.
Yep.
That's correct.
Okay.
To the Jewish community, if you ask them, an Orthodox Jew or rabbi, who the Messiah is, he may tell you he doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
He might say it could be Moses or Elijah.
Right.
And according to their ancient text, that Elijah will appear to herald the Messiah in advance, kind of like the Christian John the Baptist story. The only thing I can say to that is in the book of Revelation, it talks about two witnesses. And most people have believed that the two witnesses are Moses and Elijah,
Yep.
which I think is kind of interesting. Of course, the Orthodox rabbis are not even allowed to have the New Testament in their homes, so they often don't know these other texts that are written and stick basically to the Hebrew text only. In fact, a lot of them, I don't think some of them read that much material outside of what's in the Torah itself.
Now,
But there's a lot of other things in the Old Testament that provide all sorts of clues to Yeshua. There's so many prophetic mentions of him all through the Old Testament, but for some reason that doesn't really register in the Jewish mind that much.
Now, but what I have heard is that before he shows up, there's a lot of things that have to happen first, before that occurs. And there is a lot that's supposed to happen. And can all that happen within 1 year?
Well, we don't know. We can't really predict it. All I'm interested in is why is all this gematria encoded in the Torah? I don't understand. I don't have a reason for it or an explanation. All that I know is that there's a lot of it. And it's kind of startling to me to see so many codes that come up with 5776. And then recently he showed me something about the secret number of God, which is the number 1820. And that number is basically derived from the Hebrew name of God, which has a number of 26. And the word in Hebrew for secret, its gematria adds up to 70. So if you multiply the name of God 26 by 70, you get 1,820 characters. What's interesting is that there's all sorts of references to that number throughout the Torah. And I used to kind of disregard a lot of this, thinking it was numerology or maybe it was just coincidence. But I don't feel that way anymore. I think that the Torah is really encoded in multiple ways, almost in 3 dimensions at the same time. There's so much information in there that I think it's interesting that they're trying to dig all this stuff out. And I think we'll continue to find more interesting stuff in the future.
I agree. You know what's really interesting about it is, like, when you read Psalms, there's actually a part in there where David's talking from the perspective of hanging on a cross, right? I mean, and he's...
That's true. I mean, that's in Psalm chapter 22. In the first verse, it says, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?"
Yeah, word for word. Yeah, talks about.
That's in the Old Testament.
Yeah, I mean, he describes it from the perspective of hanging up there, and talks about him gambling for his clothes and 30 pieces of silver. I mean, it's like all there, like the whole story.
It's the whole story.
Yeah,
it's the same in the book of Isaiah in chapter 53. It talks about, how he was wounded for our transgressions, and it goes on and on with a complete expose of really what happened to Christ, how he was rejected and considered like despised, and all of that's true, and that's exactly what happened to him. And I don't know how they can disregard that stuff, but there's one particular video that's popped up on YouTube that called Isaiah 53 the banned scripture in the Jewish community, and a guy went around with a microphone and interviewed Hebrew-speaking folks in Israel, and many of them didn't even know that scripture existed. They'd never heard it before.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. It would be interesting to
me. And
me.
then, of course, there's Zechariah 12, which is really interesting. And I asked Rabbi Glazerson about this once. I said, well, what do you think of that? And it's basically, said they will look upon him on whom they pierced and weep as if is a long-lost son. Right. Now, this is referring to Yeshua after he returns, where their eyes are opened and they realize it really is him. But that is you can't really debate these things. It's really more or less up to God when all this is revealed.
See, now, what would be interesting to me is this gematria that you're talking about in those same books, okay? The same, like, even paragraphs that we're talking about.
Yes.
What's inside
there
there?
Probably
right?
is. I mean, you know that the name Obama is encoded in the book of Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, every 7 letters.
Really? I didn't know that. Wow.
And we don't know why that's in there. We don't know if it's timestamp, like, well, he's going to be here during that time when Israel was attacked from the north.
Wow.
But
I know
Obama's the only person that we've had in our lifetime that's done this negotiating with Iran, and Iran is one of the largest threats to Israel. So, it's very strange. I don't know what to make out of it.
Well, there's some weird stuff going on, like the rivers drying up. The one that they said that the kings of the east were going to cross over and attack Israel. They said that river was going to dry up.
Oh, the Jordan River.
And it's all they're all drying up, and I mean, all these things are happening over there.
Some of its tributaries, some of the water has been diverted to other countries. And so what has happened is that the Dead Sea is subsiding, and it's much lower than it used to be, and there are sinkholes forming around the Dead Sea that are big enough to swallow your cars. You have to be really careful. I was just there a month ago, so
Whoa.
I saw the Dead Sea. It's much lower than it's been in a long, long time. It's very mysterious.
Yeah, I'm yes. And tonight, for those who don't know or who are in the Central Valley of California, tonight is part 2 of Richard Shaw's part 1, part 2 on Paranormal Central on the CW tonight. So this is the man that you're going to hear on, or if you heard him last week, he's on again this week.
Oh,
or tonight.
really, man? Yeah. Wow, that's
so perfect
cool,
timing.
Man.
Perfect timing.
This wasn't even planned either.
Saying, not again, please.
No way. This is like the more interesting than anything, man. really interesting.
So wow. So
I think it goes back to all those like the ancient aliens and all that kind of stuff. I mean, this goes beyond that. You know what I mean? Like, but I'll never forget, like, when we were writing the first time that we met and you handed me that little skull. Like, oh my God, man, you just turned my whole life upside down, you know. Here I am looking at this little baby long-headed skull, elongated or whatever, with hair and everything on it. I'm like, oh my God. Like, that was the most weirdest thing I ever saw.
It's kind of hard for someone to say that was done through cradle headboarding when the infant was like 18 months of age. It just doesn't make sense. It's just you can't stretch someone's head to that size.
Did we show that on? Did we
kill the child?
Did we show that on one of the episodes? Did you bring it out?
I can't remember.
You know, I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Maybe we can do that sometime.
Yeah.
LA and I are currently working on Watchers 10.
Okay. Well, you know, we are. I have a meeting with the CW here in a couple of weeks, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and continue and give them a full year's of shows to run on the TV, and I think they're going to start passing it around to other networks affiliated with us down here. So that's
fantastic.
I have a feeling you and LA or Marzulli are coming down to Fresno for a couple of shows. All right?
Well, that would be a lot of fun.
We're going to have a blast.
I sent you a Watchers 9, and
yep.
The only thing that's really changed in Watchers 9 since we made it was the drought that we had showed. At least now we're getting some of the El Nino effects.
Right.
Oh, you should see the mountains today. I was driving over here, and it was cloudy, overcast here in the valley, but the Sierras were just lit up with the sun and all the snow, and man, I haven't seen it like that in a long time. It was beautiful.
Wow.
Absolutely beautiful.
Very cool. All right, Richard. Well, you know,
that's fantastic.
I hear you coughing and gagging, dude. I hope that gas is. I hope you don't have the window open. It sounds like you're dying over there, dude. Please don't.
I had the nosebleeds too, and I've had an irritated chest for weeks, and you know we're going to do something pretty soon.
Wait! You actually have nosebleeds?
Dang.
Well, I caught a flu bug. And, you know, normally, you know, you're blowing your nose a lot, and this time I would have a lot of blood coming out.
Wow.
And I don't know if it...
Yeah.
I'm thinking that it was, you know, the additional irritation of what's going on with this gas leak.
Right. I would think so.
Man, you need to come up and stay with us. It's pretty fresh air over here now at the moment, you know.
Damn, yeah. I mean, you can breathe. I don't have to take my allergy pills at the moment.
Yeah, and then I could just visit with him every day. I love this subject,
right?
You know, man.
Okay.
We might move a little closer to L.A. We're thinking about Simi Valley as one possible location.
It's beautiful there. It is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
overlooking the whole valley, you know, you can kind of just have a really beautiful view.
Well, all right, Richard, I'm going to let you go. I appreciate you coming on at a short time like that and giving us the scoop. You know, I want you are my correspondent now from Porter Ranch. All right?
That's no problem.
Okay, if anything happens...
Thanks, it's great to get to talk to you.
Awesome. If anything happens with between now and next week, you call me and we'll get you on next Sunday. And if you have top secret video of black SUVs or black cars driving up to the mountain or men in black or anything like that, you make sure you call me, all right?
Yeah, any elongated people want meandering around.
Yeah. All right, Richard, take care, dude, and we'll talk to you very soon, okay?
Bye, Richard.
All right, guys, take care.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Now, isn't that a coincidence that he lives right there?
Isn't it? And his show is playing tonight.
And his show is playing
tonight.
tonight.
That's
part 2 tonight, guys.
There is no coincidences. You know, that was all meant to be like, really.
Okay, now you guys, I kind of like let the cat out of the bag, sort of, kind of. Oh, I just got a message. Hold on. Oh, something hit me in the head. Hold on.
Man, and we were just talking about some of this stuff that he brought up tonight, and
right.
I can't wait. We need to get him in here and talk with him some more, because I have a lot to ask him about this gematria and Bible code stuff.
Right.
You know, things are really happening around the world, you guys. I mean,
Absolutely
if you
it
pay
is.
attention, it is. We're in crush time, I think. Really. I mean, we're in crunch time. Is that what you call it? Crunch time. Things are like rapidly going in this one direction that is to some people scary, and to some people they're celebrating, and some people they don't even know. And I mean, we're accelerating rapidly with technology, with everything, even what he's talking about, the Bible codes, that's coming from technology, and it's just like everything's advancing towards this point in time, and he's saying what? This year, right? That's what he
2016.
said. Oh my God, I can't.
But the Bible says, if you read the Bible, that World War III almost has to start, and
It doesn't say that.
No?
No. That actually could happen after the big event.
the big event.
Right?
Huh?
And the big event is the people that believe in the Messiah are removed, right? And then that's when all that.
That's when all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Okay. And we were talking about that last night on the way home last night.
Yeah, and I was telling you, like, all my research, I've been researching this, like, real heavy, something like, put it on me to, I heard a couple of things about Noah's time, like the days of Noah is how the days of now would be, right? And it was like, so if I want to know where we are now, then I got to look at what Noah, so I just started digging in that stuff, and it looks like just from that I can't believe that, like, what I've been reading is kind of like leading me in the same conclusion as what Richard just said.
Right.
And without even talking to him and without knowing about all the
He brought it up.
gematria
You didn't
and,
bring it up. He brought it up.
Yeah,
And then
man.
and then you looked at me and you went with that evil eye. Oh.
That's because I came to the same conclusions,
Yeah.
but only from a different way.
Right.
Man,
Crazy guys. All right, let's continue on. Now I kind of like let the cat out of the bag, sort of, kind of, with Richard Shaw and L.A. Marzulli and all that kind of good stuff. It looks like we're going to go ahead and continue with this show for the rest of the year on the CW. First, like I said, when we had the meeting with just them here in Fresno, they wanted 26 episodes, which is half of the year, and then they were going to replay the 26. Well, I have something up my sleeves that I think we can do this for a very, 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 very cheaper price and continue to give them shows. And I think when we can do that, they are more likely to contact the other networks around the United States and say, hey, we got the show, 52 weeks of solid episodes every week. Do you want it? And I think they are going to say, heck yeah, we want this thing. If they have a guarantee, even half, 26 episodes. You only give them so many episodes. Even like Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel, they only do so many episodes per year, and then they take a little break and then go from there. So 26 episodes is all they were asking. Maybe that's all we need to give them.
yeah, we'll still give them 52.
If we can do it, if we can do it. If time allowed it for us, and if we can do it, then we're going to do that. So that means it's good news for everybody out there. Okay? Again, the only thing that is going to require us to do this is to get a switcher for in here in the studio. Alan was actually live streamed just out of the blue about 2 weeks ago. Decided to assist their clientele because live stream offers a lot of services and a lot of equipment to do better broadcasting, but it costs money. So they figured, let's help out the clientele, and they put a donate button that we can place on our homepage on live stream, and anybody around the world can donate using their credit card. Very simple. I mean, it's there. If you go to our homepage at live stream at Paranormal Central on the homepage, and if you notice right at the top middle, you'll see the button it'll say donate. That's new. You hit that, and you can donate whatever you want for us. We can do, all we need actually is, $2,000 or $3,000 to really do this the right way. So if all you guys donated $3 a piece, 1,000 people donated $5 a piece, we can do it. Okay, and I've been working a lot of overtime lately, so I can also assist in this as well. But we're going to give you one hell of a show here, and we're going to continue doing it. And like I said, I have stuff up my sleeve that I'm going to continue to blow you away if I can, and I plan to do so. So if you guys can help us out, I would really appreciate it. And I really haven't, since 8 years, I've been investing a lot of money in this in my own pocket. I haven't asked you guys for any money except for the GoFundMe page. But if you guys want us to still keep pushing this thing strong and hard for you guys, a 5-camera setup would work. And that's what would put us over the top. Plus a lot of other things as well. So if you guys would kindly do so, I would really appreciate it if you guys can donate whatever you can donate. And the donate button is on live stream. Go to Paranormal Central. Just Google Paranormal Central. Go to live stream homepage and search Paranormal Central, and you'll come up to the homepage with all of the posters of past shows, archives, and on the top middle, I guess, you'll see the donate button. Just click it, and it's very simple, you guys. Just your name and all that information, like 5 lines, and boom, donate. You're done.
Well, I think they gotta. I think it's on the when you go to watch a video. It's not
on
the actual.
My bad, you guys.
So anytime you click on a video to watch.
So like right now, you guys are watching this video right now.
It would be on the top.
It'd be on the top. So it
won't be on this though, I guess.
No, because it's live, huh? So it'll probably be like an archive or something. But you'll see it. You'll see it when you find it. So, all right, let's go ahead and continue on. I just got a message from Mike Smith, our conspiracy guy, and he has been watching the internet like crazy, and that's what he does for me. And he just noticed that Cuba had a couple of 5.1s and 4.8s, and he has heard from over there that they are making an announcement around Cuba to prepare for a massive earthquake. And the news just went out to all of the people there. So supposedly all these tremors that they're having they're thinking it's going to lead up to a bigger one. So they made the announcement to prepare very soon that a possibly big one is going to hit. And that's out right now on the internet and all that. So okay. Hold on. I'm gonna mute. Hold on a second. Time. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and continue on okay. Let's talk about. And this is not funny, but a lot of people have been dying.
Man, a lot
of cancer.
Like, oh my God! Like, what are they putting in the water?
Like within this past week. And okay, obviously, David Bowie, and then Alan Rickman. And for those who don't know who David Bowie is, a very famous rock star from the UK, very 80s.
Ground Control to
Major Tom.
Yeah, that's one of our good ones.
And a lot of hits, guys, a lot of hits. And then Alan Rickman, he is Harry Potter, I believe. He was also the bad guy on the first Die Hard. He's the guy, I forgot his name, but that's what made him really famous right there. He almost turned down that
See, movie, I liked him he was in another movie. It was like a spoof on a space.
Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, Galaxy Quest.
Yes.
That's where I liked him on that one.
Yeah,
he was really good in that.
Galaxy Quest. And then on top of that, Celine Dion, her husband died of cancer. And then 4 days later, her brother died of cancer. And then same week, Dan Haggerty, the Grizzly Adams guy, he died of cancer. And then on January the 11th, which was a week ago, the mayor for Ghostbusters, the mayor, he died. And I'm thinking of cancer. So what the hell, guys? Okay? I mean, I'm not just saying it's a conspiracy, but that's just weird. All right. Now, what's really even weirder is that The Simpsons, from what I understand, several years ago, did a episode of Valentine's special, and they actually had David Bowie and Alan Rickman on it together. Now, I haven't seen it. I saw parts of it on YouTube or on Facebook, and I don't know if them dying was any part of this at all. That I'm not sure of. But it's kind of odd that David Bowie and Alan Rickman were both in the same episode together. You guys have, we've talked about stuff on here about, for some reason, The Simpsons seem to, put out something, and then several years later it will come true. Like 9/11 and a bunch of other stuff. I spaced out so many, there's a couple of them that I showed on here, but I don't know what to tell you about that, okay? Because I have no theory on this. Is it just coincidence that, they're coming up with these episodes and they're including stupid stuff that we talk about here and they're coming true? Is the Illuminati, New World Order, giving the maker of The Simpsons information to make, because a couple of years down the road they're going to do, or I don't know, guys. I don't know. But I'm just telling you, crazy stuff. All right? And if you don't believe me, The Simpsons, just Google The Simpsons, David Bowie, Alan Rickman on YouTube, and it will come up and you can watch it yourself. All right?
We have a oncologist nurse in chat.
Okay.
And she says that the numbers are underreported.
What do you mean underreported?
Like,
what numbers?
Lots of people are dying from cancer and it's not reported enough.
I believe it.
And then she also was just saying that there's waves of cancer, like after the holidays, where people die, and it's like,
why is that?
I don't know. Maybe they ate too much. I don't know. Or some people can stay alive.
Enough
see their
to see
whole
the family
and all that stuff, and then afterwards
they
let themselves go. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's kind of interesting.
Very interesting. So, now, conspiracy. Here we go. Like I said, we talk about everything here. All right, conspiracies. Here we go. The economy is pretty much in the tank. It's sinking really bad, you guys. Matter of fact, Mike just said that China's stock market just opened and they lost 2% already or something, and it's going down. All right. I've told people that if you have money in your 401k plans right now, to get it out and move it someplace else, because everybody's going to lose a lot of money in your 401ks. If you have money there, move it out if you haven't done it already. All right. I'm not saying take it out the cash. Move it to somewhere else where it's going to survive if the stock market crashes. Because it's doing that right now. My supervisor at work, I told him this right before Christmas. I said, right in January, something is going to happen, and he moved it. And he came the other, and I'm glad he did. And I hope the people that heard me here say that, I hope you did it as well. Okay.
Well, it might not recover if Richard Shaw is right.
Yeah, everybody's pretty much dead in the water. I mean, it's just the way it goes. So. All right, now conspiracy. Did I just get a message? I thought I heard something. No, okay. Walmart. With the economy tanking, then you're going to see businesses also tank, and they're going to close a lot of stores. For example, Walmart is closing a lot of stores now. Alan reminded me that Walmart's closing 154 stores. Oh my God! But they have
5,000 stores.
Okay, and how many do you think they have in the United States?
Well, back in the day, like in late 90s, I worked in there, paying my way through school, and I was in store number 2003. That was the store number, and I mean, starting with store number 1 in Bentonville, Arkansas. So like how many years? That's like 16 years or 15, 20, almost 20 years ago, they've opened another easy 2,000 stores. So I mean, if they closed 500 stores, it wouldn't even hardly be nothing to
but
them.
Now let's continue on with the conspiracy. Now you're going to have 154 empty buildings.
Right, yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. If I had music right now, I'd be dun, 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 dun. 154 empty stores. Think about that,
To use them for what?
I'm not saying I'm.
And I mean, just only think about like what you hear about them using the ones they already closed, 150 stores.
Right.
Okay. And what did
Right.
those turn out to be? And people are getting arrested for milling around in the parking lot of those.
Gotta have some type of music that could. Oh, here it is. Oh. Yeah, that's what I was looking for right there. Yeah, so just 154
So
empty
Walmart,
buildings.
Walmart has over 10,000 stores.
Okay, now is that around the world or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, they do have a lot, and they're closing a lot overseas as well.
They have a whole new like grocery section they didn't even have when like
Right.
what they call them neighborhood grocery stores
Right.
now. They didn't even have those
Right.
back in the day, and I know where there's 6 of them just around here.
Sure. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
They're converting to grocery stores, which is putting a lot of other businesses out of business, but that's just the way it goes.
That's their reputation.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes.
They've been doing that for years.
Right. Okay, let's continue on. Let me show you something on the screen here, you guys. You guys ready for this? Right here. Yes, gas in, how do you pronounce that? Houghton? Okay, Lake Michigan?
Oh,
Houghton?
Houghton.
Houghton?
Something like that.
Okay.
Houghton.
Houghton, okay. Regular gas is 78 cents, and diesel is $1.35. What did I tell you guys? If if the gas went past $1, it's because the economy sucks right now, and gas is not being sold enough. This is not good, and I told you guys this. All right, I told you guys this. If gas goes below $1, we're in big trouble. All right.
Houghton.
Houghton. Okay. So
That's what I thought it was.
I told you guys.
It ain't that here though.
No, it's not here. We're
Like, I just
250.
I used premium in mine, and it was like $2.73 a gallon. Like I'm jealous of them. At least get me down to $1. I mean, let it go down
to $1. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, but again, I told
if
you
it
guys
goes down, that's taxes in California.
They're not making. These guys are not making a single cent.
Right. If that price was in California, that would be, even the state would be taking a hit in taxes.
Right.
Because we pay more than $1 a gallon in taxes here.
That's crazy.
So we're probably really low, at 2 something a gallon.
Right.
Really, California, we suck. We suck. Taxes on everything, gun laws, you name it. California ain't the place to be. And now the biggest gas leak in the world.
Right.
So
again, that's pretty scary stuff, you guys. I told you guys it's going to be. We're getting scary times.
And you would think like
Scary
the gas
times.
leak would be raising prices because they're losing billions of gas just leaking out.
Well, that's natural gas, though.
It all comes from the same place. They just refine it different.
Oh.
When they make gasoline, like some of it comes off gasoline, some of it comes off diesel, some comes off natural gas, methane, whatever.
Okay, so let's go ahead and show you some more stuff here. Movies, sci-fi movies, for all those who are sci-fi movie freaks. And, I'm really not that type of person, but when a good movie comes out, I will watch it. You guys remember Cloverfield, that alien movie that came out? They're coming out with a sequel, and they're going to release it this March the 11th, 3/11. 3/11. So what's the big deal about 3/11, Jeff? Well, those are Illuminati numbers. 3/11, 9/11. Go punch in 3/11, and obviously the band 3/11 is going to come up probably, but at that point in time, you'll see where the Illuminati comes up. For some reason, the numbers 3/11, 9/11 are used a lot. Now, why would they be releasing this on 3/11? Is it just a coincidence that they're releasing Cloverfield, where the aliens invade the world and take the bodies and use them to reproduce alien robots and I'm just throwing it out there. That's all I'm doing, guys. If it sticks, it sticks. But, I'm going to tell you these things because you don't hear it from anywhere else. And I'm not making this up. You can look up Cloverfield, the sequel that they're going to open on 3/11. Google 3/11. You'll see the band 3/11 come up, which is a very good band. I like them a lot. But their Illuminati numbers are 3/11. So I'm just putting it there, right? That's all I'm doing. So don't send me hate mail that I'm trying to scare you guys because that's what I'm trying to do. No, just kidding. All right. I'm going to scare you again. January the 20th, which is 3 days away.
Something like that.
The planets are going to align.
Again.
Oh, but you know what? Usually when they align, that's going to probably put some pressure on the Earth itself, gravitational pull.
That's what they say, but it hasn't never yet.
Well, let's see. Let's see what happens. We're the 17th today, right?
Something like that.
Okay, well, the 17th, you never know. You never know on the 20th. So that's on Wednesday, guys. The planets will align on Wednesday. Let's see how many catastrophes happen on Wednesday. All right, you guys get a pen and paper out, and probably, if anything's going to happen, because you have to understand around the world on the other side, it's a day ahead. All right, so it's going to if anything's going to happen, excuse me, it's going to happen on the 19th.
Oh, I see.
You follow me? So stuff will start probably happening on the 19th, and it will take it will carry over to the 20th. So just think about that, and let's see if anything happens. Like a lot of earthquakes. Maybe a volcano might erupt someplace on that day because of the pull, of the gravitational pull. Let's see what happens. All right. You know what? I got a couple more minutes, and we're gonna get a hold of Heidi. And then we'll go ahead and end it after that. Looking at my notes, I have a lot of notes. And hold on here, my Smith food under 29. Excuse me. And Mike just sent me a text, and the barrel of crude oil is now under $29. So it is now falling again. We're in deep doo-doo, guys. This is not good. I'm telling you right now.
You know what I remember when I was a kid? I think it was like in the 70s. We actually ran out of oil, and they said there was an oil shortage,
And I think
we were pushing our cars to the pump, and so we were running out of gas in a big line going to the
pump. And I think you could only get gas if your numbers on the license plates were like odd or even.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Well, that was done so that they could raise oil prices. That was what the whole thing was, because it was only like 50 cents a gallon or 80 cents a gallon. I mean, it was pretty cheap.
Right.
After that is when it started like really going up. What if the Saudis are doing this to make us? Because we quit buying into all the oil, offshore, out of the country oil, and we're producing our own.
Yes, we are.
And that's really why.
I hope that I hope that's the case. I really do hope that's the case.
Yeah, but only the Saudis, they would like they did in the 70s, they create a shortage, right?
Okay.
So they're not going to supply, or they're going to make it so cheap that we can't afford to do it anymore. And then we come back under them.
And then after a while, they'll come up, and then we'll have to do that all over again. But
yeah.
All right. So
I know that like if we wanted to hurt any business, all we had to do is quit
buying.
Yeah. If everybody for a whole week didn't buy gas, these guys would be drowning in it.
Yeah. Last night, or actually early this morning, I don't remember what time it is. It was early, like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up, and because of a big boom, I heard a big boom, and Cheryl was on the internet and watching videos of now this large booms are starting to and horns are starting to make themselves known all over the world. Right. People are hearing these different types of sounds.
And they're seeing stuff.
Yeah, and that's one thing I wanted to show, and I forgot, was that somebody took a photograph. Well, I'll say it right now. But I heard a loud boom last night, and I don't know what it was. But could have been a sonic boom. I don't know. I don't know if anybody heard it here in the central part of Valley of California. I don't know if anybody heard it, but I heard something. I thought it was like a door slam, but at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, it woke me out of a deep sleep. It did. And I went to the window. I looked around, went downstairs, thought somebody was trying to break in. Didn't see anything. The cats were still asleep. I don't know. But then Cheryl said that they heard these loud booms in Oregon and in Bakersfield. So I don't know.
And I was up. I didn't hear nothing.
Nothing.
It was totally quiet at my house.
Okay, I could have been dreaming. I had it happens.
Except for Art and those guys, throwing beer bottles in the garbage can.
Jeez, party freaking animals. So, all right, let's go ahead and get a hold. Want to put Heidi's picture up there now?
Oh, it's time for Heidi.
Let's call Heidi. Let me find
Skip a little
Heidi.
Sun and the moon and the stars.
Oh, we're gonna Skype her. The sound quality.
That sounded good.
We're gonna Skype, and then hopefully that the sound will be better. And that would be part of Art Bell right here. Okay, and we shall see what happens here. We're gonna try it out, guys. So stand by. We're gonna bring her up on Skype on just the audio.
I keep on wanting to type on the little pad.
Okay, so hold on here. We're gonna try that, and the audio should be a lot better because the Skype audio is always the best
Yes.
quality. You calling her?
I'm asking her if she's ready.
Oh, just call her. Do it. She's got to be ready. It's that time.
Ta-da!
But I have the volume up. I don't hear her.
I don't hear her either.
Did you call her?
Yeah.
Crap.
Do I need the volume on here?
I don't know.
1 second.
There you go. Hold on. You're coming up.
All right. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, can you hear us?
There you go.
Woohoo! Yes.
Wow.
Cool.
See, that's the way it's
How
supposed to
about
sound.
everybody in the audience? Can you guys hear her?
Oh, yeah, they can. If we can hear her, then yeah, everybody else can.
Oh, okay.
I had to leave the live stream because it was interfering with the audio.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah,
Well-
I don't know if there's a way to mute it. There must be on that site somewhere.
I don't know.
But it might mute everything. So
Cool. All right, Heidi, everybody, if this is your first time, Heidi Hollis is our reporter for everything else but Bigfoot.
And you know what? It
there
really,
you go. Hey, that's a good way to summarize it.
Yeah.
all,
really
eh?
does sound better.
It does. It sounds bitching, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everything's a
excuse me. So,
Everything's better with butter.
yeah, so
Yeah.
How are you guys doing tonight?
we're doing good. We're doing good.
Awesome.
So, right on. So, all right, Heidi, tell everybody who you are and what you do and go for it.
Well, you guys, I think I'm whacked. No, I'm just kidding. I always say that I'm someone who's been there, seen that, experienced it, freaked out, found some answers, wrote about it, got over it, and now I'm trying to help other people do the same thing and understand this crazy, crazy world of ours. And I welcome you all to go to HeidiHollis.com and also to write me at oddadvicehh@gmail.com if you've experienced anything and everything out of the ordinary. And also, I relaunched my show, The Outlander, Fridays, 8 p.m. Central on InceptionRadioNetwork.com. So having fun with that again.
Right
Yay,
on.
thank
right
God.
On. Right on.
So I sent over some pictures your way.
Yes, you did. Let's go
And,
ahead and pull those up.
I was in a weird mood, and I'm like, let's look up some mutants. I just thought it would be cool to check them out and see what's out there. And wow, dudes, I really found some. This first picture is crazy. Okay, and I'm gonna read you this story, and it'll make you feel all creepy and crawly. Okay, so somebody named Dean Gigon, 66, said she discovered this reptile clinging to the wall of her bedroom with its talons in the middle of the night.
Oh my God.
And this is a quote from her. She said, "I woke up and heard a strange scratching sound. I turned on the light and saw this monster working its way along the wall using his claw." She's from Southwest China, this person, and she said she was so scared she grabbed a shoe and beat the snake to death before preserving its body in a bottle of alcohol.
So,
Ugh.
Better with butter.
It
Yeah,
is so
so-
weird looking. And the snake is 16 inches long
we're
and the
doing good.
thickness
We're
of
doing
like
good.
your little finger, and is now being
right on.
studied at the Life Sciences Department at China's West Normal University in Nanchang. And snake expert Long Suong said, "It is truly shocking, but we won't know the cause until we've conducted an autopsy. A more common mutation among snakes is the growth of a second head, which occurs in a similar way to the formation of Siamese twins in humans. Such animals are often caught and preserved as lucky tokens, but have very little chance of surviving in the wild anyway, especially as the heads have a tendency to attack each other." So,
Ew.
isn't this crazy? This is a foot. A
That-
foot.
Now, is that the head? Because I'm trying to see the head. Is that upside down?
Yeah, the head it's like the belly of the snake, and then
Oh.
near the left is the head.
Okay.
But in the middle there is a foot.
Yeah.
Now, could it have eaten something and the foot came out of the snake?
Doesn't look like it.
Huh?
The
No?
witness said it was using the claw
Okay.
to move along the wall.
So I guess not.
Ooh.
But it looks like it. Well, okay, I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not a scientist. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that's freaking creepy. And I would have not used a shoe. I would have took out my 12 gauge and I would have blown it out of the wall.
Can you believe she got a shoe and killed it?
That
I'm
would have.
like, what the heck? And she called it a monster.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It is a monster.
Ugh. Yeah, but that's not a foot sticking out of the, like it ate it. It's
yeah.
like a growth, and like
Wow.
it used it.
Right. That's crazy.
Ew.
That is a strange mutation. I guess that's a first for the books. I don't know.
Yeah. Very cool looking though. I haven't seen that one before. That one's new to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Right
And
on.
I came across some pretty wild ones. So the next one, this just gives me the creeps, and I feel bad for this creature. This is a one-eyed kitty.
Yeah, it is. Oh, you know what? I didn't even know it was a kitty. It's a cat,
Yeah.
huh? Wow.
I know, right? It's like Cyclops.
That's exactly what it is.
It is. It's so crazy. And this is what the story that goes with this. So, one unusual event happened in Oregon City in the U.S. A kitten was born with only one large eye, grown on the position of its nose, December 28, 2005. This type of deformity is known as, I cannot pronounce this, holoprosencephaly. Besides one eye, the kitten was also found to have no nose at all.
So it
This-
can't breathe?
What's that?
It won't breathe? Like it breathes through its mouth or something?
I guess if it was eating, it would just totally, suffocate.
Wow.
Dang.
Well, look-
Yeah,
well,
it died 2 days after it was born. I guess it's just
Fukushima, man. Fukushima.
Fukushima.
Well, wait. Where was this at? What country?
This was in Oregon City.
Oregon.
Oh, yeah.
Fukushima.
Dude, that's right. And I think the radiation hit there first, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
But December 28th, 2005.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
when did Fukushima happen?
I don't
Oh, that's a
know.
good question.
About
I'd
11
have
years ago.
I
or
have to
something
Google
like
it, but
that,
I don't think it
wasn't
was that long
No,
ago.
not
was
that
it?
long ago, was it?
No, I
Okay,
don't think so.
Mike Smith, Google it for me. When did Fukushima occur? And go ahead and let me know when. He'll let me know right now. Well, no. I got my guys on it.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Ugh. Poor little thing. I can't imagine. It probably just could not breathe while it was eating. Poor little thing. But now this next one is really something else, and I think they should inject this gene into sex offenders, child molesters, and everything, so we all will know who they are. So, this green pig.
Oh my god.
This green pig, the research team from Taiwan University, is succeeding in producing 3 green fluorescent pigs. According to the professor at the university, Professor Wu said that these green fluorescent pigs were the outcomes of an experiment in which the green fluorescent genes from jellyfish were implanted into 3 transgenic pig embryos. It produced 3 pigs that have their entire bodies emitting green fluorescent light.
Woo, green eggs and ham.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Oh, there you go. It's a reality now.
Yeah. It probably was then too. We just didn't know, It was like,
Right. But wouldn't it be cool if we could totally inject criminals and be like, whoop, no, you cannot move in this neighborhood.
it would. I mean, that's what they do actually in the over in the Orient, they chop their fingers and hands off, stuff like that. So
Right.
like if they could see you're the bad guy because you only got 4
Oh, wrong
fingers
animal.
and
Sorry.
I thought that was a sheep. I'm like, what?
Oops. Sorry. I can't see it. It's pretty dark.
I understand. Oh my God, that's funny. Okay, so we're going on to the next one. This is really,
The next one.
it's another kitty.
Ooh.
Another kitty. So it says this two-faced kitten was born in Inverness, Florida. It has 1 esophagus, 2 noses, and 4 eyes. This photo was pictured while its owner, Cobra, oh boy, the name, Cobra Machini, was feeding his beloved kitten. And they didn't say if this kitten survived or not, but apparently it had an esophagus. But at least these 2 heads can't attack each other like snakes would. It said that they would, the 2-headed snakes would kill each other. That's funny. Ah, there you go. That was the right button. It's nice to be able to hear your guys' response a lot clearer because I would totally be guessing if you guys were talking before.
Really?
So
I mean, no, you sound absolutely awesome right
Yeah.
now. It's just like
Oh,
totally digital quality. No static, no fade
Nice.
in, fade out. It's perfect. It's awesome.
Yeehaw.
We're gonna have to
This
get
is
Danny to
I'm
do
used to the
this.
Skype for shows. It's
Sure.
it's so much better.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's awesome.
So when you clean your house and you get your studio ready, then we can go ahead and put you on the screen back here. So let me know when that happens.
Oh, that'd be cool. I am totally like I'm moving my office into another room, so that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
It's a total mess.
Yeah, I bet.
So so anyways, here we go. Number 5.
Okay.
All right, this is cute because I really love turtles, but this is actually a tortoise, and this was seen June 24th, 2007 in Hubei, which is located in the eastern part of Anhui province of China. And the local media reported that its round shape or gourd shape, resembling a large fruit with a hard skin and soft, juicy flesh inside, was the result of a gene mutation. That means the gene mutation has contributed to its aberration, a condition of a temporary change from what is normal or acceptable among its species. So,
Well, he doesn't know if he's coming or going.
right, yeah, for real. I wonder how it got around.
Boom, boom. That's what a drummer. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, and like, where's the pooper side?
Oh.
You know,
Ooh. It must exist
Oh,
somewhere.
it's right
Yeah.
there. It's got to be right there. See it? There's the crack. Up there, I'm pointing right at it in the middle. You see it? Well, that's what it looks like, a butthole to me right there. There it is. That's what it
it's
looks
a
like. Okay.
plumber's crack.
Oh my! It must be constantly going because there's 2 mouths to keep
No kidding,
putting
huh?
down the pooper.
Man, he
Jeez.
was like a push me pull you too, huh? Like he doesn't. I bet he doesn't get anywhere fast.
Goes in circles.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, because the claws all go forward. It's like I
Yeah.
wonder. That's really interesting. So that was that one, and then this one. This is interesting. Little lamb. So this is a 7-legged lamb that was photographed when it was found July 31st, 2007 at the farm of Meetham near Christchurch, which is situated in the South Island of New Zealand. The vet, Steve Williams, believed that this deformity was caused by a misprint in embryo formation. Due to the scientific reason, the lamb was being born with many legs. He further remarked that this is a common condition that may have occurred once in every several million sheep. Now, how is that common if it happens in several million, 1 in every several million sheep? 7 legs? It's not even even.
Can it walk? I wonder if it can walk.
This was the
Doesn't look like
only
it.
little bit that they had on this that I
Right.
found online. I was like, what? This is crazy.
Yeah. Now, I just got, Mike just sent me, the Fukushima happened in 2011. So 2005, there was none.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those, nature things.
It was Chernobyl.
It was Chernobyl
Yeah.
that did it.
They say that Chernobyl still is, like still one of the worst ones.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. A viable catastrophe.
Yeah, sure is.
slowly pouring out to the world.
Wow.
All right, so this one is this one's wild. Okay, this is a cow. All right, it says this unusual six-leg Cambodian cow was found resting at a farm near Cambodia City on October 7th, 2003. The monks from the local pagoda, who was scared of getting bad fortune, would be brought by the cow, later named it Chamlek, which literally means strange. And that is strange. That is crazy.
Yeah,
That's
looks like
crazy.
looks like it had a twin and just never.
That's what happened, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just
Probably
sticking
the
out
little
his butt.
lamb too. It was triplets or something, and
Right.
got messed up some in there.
Full hooves.
Yep.
And
I
it
don't
happens to people too sometimes.
I don't know if I've ever seen like legs sticking out of somebody's ribs though.
Yeah.
I mean that's
It happens. It
their
really does.
ribs. Those are man. That's just crazy. Well, and speaking of people, this next one I saved the best for last.
Uh-oh.
Everybody saw the movie The Arrival with Charlie Sheen.
Right. Absolutely.
This is Ella. She was considered a circus freak. And wow, her legs really did bend backwards. So, this is the story about poor Ella. Okay, most sources indicate that Ella Harper was born in Hendersonville, Tennessee around 1870, although there were some conflicting reports. It has also been revealed that Ella had a twin brother who died quite early. What is not argued, however, is the fact that Ella was born with an unusual orthopedic condition resulting in knees that bent backwards. Ugh. The nature of this unusual affliction is exceedingly rare and relatively unknown. So, I have never seen such a thing before. However, most modern medical types would classify her condition in a very advanced form of congenital genu recavatum, whichever that is, but also known as back knee deformity. Her unusually bent knees, coupled with her preference of walking on all fours, resulted in her being called the camel girl. That is just wrong when we know there's a slang term, something in regard to women about camels. That's all I'm going to say.
One hump or two.
You're terrible. So
Please
and
send
it
all
goes-
hate mail to Alan Thomas in P.O. Box.
then it goes on to say in 1886, Ella was the star of W.H. Harris's Nickel Plate Circus, often appearing accompanied by a camel when
Aw.
presented to audiences, and she was a feature in the newspapers of every town the circus visited. Those newspapers touted Ella as the most wonderful freak of nature since the creation of the world, and that her counterpart never did exist. I don't know what that. Okay, so anyways, this is her personal quote. I am called the camel girl because my knees turn backwards. I can walk best on my hands and feet, as you see me in the picture. I've traveled considerably in the show business for the past 4 years, and now this is 1886, and I intend to quit the show business and go to school and fit myself for another occupation. And it goes on to say, it appears that Ella did indeed move on to other ventures, and her $200 a week salary, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Wow, likely opened many doors for her. For
Yeah.
quite some time, no further information was available on Ella following 1886, but recently, a genealogist managed to not only trace Ella's family tree, but also provide some information regarding her life after the sideshow. On June 28, 1905, Ella Harper married a man named Robert Savely. Savely was a school teacher and later a bookkeeper for a photo supplies company. In 1910, census shows Ella and her husband living in Nashville, Tennessee with Ella's mother, and it also revealed that Ella and her husband had adopted a 3-month-old child, but that the child passed away only 18 days later.
Aw.
We also know that Ella died of colon cancer December 19, 1921 in Nashville, and that she was buried at the Spring Hill Cemetery. And there's only a simple gravestone marker there. I'm sure somebody's going to try to dig her up, because that's just weird.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
just weird. Fascinating
But
stuff.
$200 a week. That
Yeah.
is You know,
Back then,
oh my God.
that's rich.
No wonder she kept doing it. In 4 years, you know, she was rich.
Yeah.
She could buy whatever.
Right.
Man, it was like in the 70s, I worked in my grandma's restaurant, and she gave me a quarter a day.
You know, she was ripping you off, dude.
She would tell me in her day, you know, a quarter was a lot you
She
know.
ripped you off, man.
Yeah. Man, I worked my butt off for that
Call
25 cents.
Call the police on her right now.
You know, growing up, I was only offered 50 cents allowance, and I don't care if I sneezed without covering my mouth. My dad's like, "And there goes your allowance."
Yeah.
Man.
It was very strict. I'm like, what? I mean, jeez, he was just so cheap. He laughs about it so hard today. It's just so funny.
I was tripping out on the scientific names, you know, that they were putting on all these.
Mm-hmm.
I was just at the vascular surgeon Wednesday or Tuesday, and they had all this medical speak where they did the surgery on the femoral artery, and they were saying that it was communicating with the cabbage. You know, and they were all this med speak. And I'm laying there like, what? You know, they're checking the pulse in my feet and said I had a +1 on the side they operated on, a +2 on the left side, which I guess is good. But only I'm like, so what are you talking about? You know, it's communicating with the cabbage.
Is that one of your balls or what?
No, actually, what they said it was the femoral artery
Send all your
leak.
email to Jeffrey.
The femoral artery leaked into a abscess or something, and communicating means the blood could go back and forth from inside the artery and out.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, you know, you if that cabbage would have broke, you wouldn't be here. So they got it and that was the first I heard that it was that close to being dead.
Whoa.
That I would have been bled out so I had no idea that they were communicating like that.
There you
Nice
go.
to know now, huh?
Yeah, but only, you know, the medical speak part.
Yeah.
I had no idea what they were talking about. Absolutely no idea.
See,
And-
that's so frustrating. You know, as a medical professional myself, you know, when I was a student, you know, I'd had doctors that would talk over my head like that, and it was so aggravating to me. So I promised that when I became, you know, a therapist, that I wouldn't do that. And you know, I got yelled at all the way through school, and through supervision and internships and everything, because I just would not do that. And they told me, "You're the therapist. You need to show that you know more than they do." I'm like, by talking over their heads so they don't know what the heck I'm talking about? I'm like, how is that helpful, you know?
Yeah,
And
it's not cool.
it isn't. And you know, I gotten used to, you know, communicating that way, and it's funny because I forget like the scientific word. I'm like, oh, what is it again? It's like I could explain it to you, but because I've been talking, you know, plainly for so long, it's so funny. But I get
Well, you know, they almost couldn't even say it when, you know, I'm all kicked back and I tell them, okay, now say that where I understand what you're saying, you know.
Right.
And the guy's like, let me see if I can do that. I mean, he absolutely almost couldn't even say it
That's sad.
in what you would understand.
Mm-hmm.
And he never did say what the communicating part was. He just
Wow.
said that the femoral artery was leaking into the abscess part, you know. And then I went to my regular doctor right after that.
Mhm.
And then I told him, hey, I was explaining it to him and told him, and they said it was communicating. And he looked at me and he's like, oh, whoa. I go, what does that mean? And he said, that's when he told me it was the blood could go back and forth. It was communicating back and forth. That's communicating. I'm like, oh, weird.
See, say the blind man.
Yeah, weird. weird.
Yeah, that's I don't know why they choose to do that. And so many
Everybody's
people.
like, yay, the picture's gone.
Yeah, nightmares. Thank you, Heidi. Send all
Anytime,
correspondences to Heidi Hollis, P.O. Box, for that picture.
Which one did you put up? What were you looking at? The
Well,
lady?
I had the elephant, no, the camel girl,
camel girl,
for up
yeah.
there for a
Oh.
long time.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and even Cheryl said, take it off.
Really?
Yeah, she texted me, take it off.
Totally The Arrival.
Yep, big
Totally.
time. Oh, yeah. And then I was even going to ask Richard Shaw if he's ever seen The Arrival, because what did the aliens in The Arrival shoot up into the atmosphere was gas to
Right.
mess up the atmosphere and make it warmer, like it's happening in Southern California right now. So
Like reptilians appreciate the heat.
There you go.
Yes.
Just like that.
Actually, I heard that could be what's going on. They're trying
to make it warmer.
Yeah, trying to change the atmosphere of the world for them, and
that's exactly what the Arrival, the movie is. The Arrival,
really?
Absolutely.
I never saw the movie, but I heard that's what's going on for us. That's what they're doing.
You know what? I bought the movie. I'll give it to you so you can watch it. It's Charlie Sheen on it, so just don't.
I'll just watch it on Netflix.
Oh, there you go.
I'm sure it's on there.
I'm pretty sure on this. So. All right, Heidi. Anything else?
Yeah. No, I have a email, but we don't have to go there. It's a big one.
Oh, okay. We can save it for next week.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much once again, gentlemen.
Okay.
You have an awesome weekend,
You
or
too.
rest of the weekend.
Yeah, right on. All right, we'll talk to you next week.
All right, sounds
Heidi.
good. Take care.
See ya.
Okay, bye.
Bye. And that sounded awesome right there. We're going to Skype her all. Danny, Danny's actually at dinner right now. So, all right, we're almost done here. Let me go ahead and give you, you guys know, if you guys have been watching us, you guys know what happened to Alan, Robert, Scott, and myself about a couple of months ago. We went up to the spot where the Bigfoots are at, that we know where they're at, where the window incident happened, where we got the audio. We went to go bring down a couple of my cameras that I placed up there on a tree 15 feet high, because I gaffed and I placed them up at a higher, than usual. And we went up there a couple of months ago, and we were just about to that location, and we lost time. And we lost time, you guys. I swear to God. If the Bible's right over there, I can go get it. And I put my hand on it. We lost time. We totally missed the camp spot. We totally missed the location of the where we were supposed to stop to get out and walk up the hill and to get the cameras. Well, we totally passed it. And I woke up driving at the end of the road with all these trees hitting my windshield, and I had to hit the brake, and I didn't know where I was at, guys. I turned to Alan. I said, Alan, where are we? And he looked at me and he goes, I don't know, man. And I look at Robert Scott, which is sitting on the passenger side in the front, and his head is like this. And then I started talking out louder to Alan, like, where did we pass it? And Robert woke up, and it's like, where are we? I have never, ever experienced anything like that in my life, and I don't think Alan has either. This was a first for us. Why there? Why at the spot? I don't know. But I told you guys that I want to know what happened. Well, we're going to find out what happened. Last night we had a meeting with a hypnotist, and next Saturday we are filming one more episode for TV, and we're going to go under, Ellen and myself. We're going to find out what happened to us on that one day trekking up to the mountains to get those cameras, which are no longer there, by the way. They were removed at 15 feet up high. I lost $200 worth of cameras, $100 a piece. All right.
See, like, okay, like the show that we did where we talked about that, we got a lot of we got some people messing with us on that one, and I just want to say this was random. Like, there was no deer trails. It's not on the side of the road.
Oh, you're talking about the cameras?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, and then they were 15 or
well,
16
let me tell you
feet
something.
up,
Let me tell you something. I contacted Mickey Burrell today. Next week, when we have this done, I'm going to have Mickey Burrell here present to make sure everything is on the up and up and that we go under. For those who don't know who Mickey Burrell is, he is part of the team. He has just been with us only like a couple of years now. He is he's a forensic expert for the police department here in Fresno, 17 years. And this guy's a science guy. He's the one who took photographs and took the DNA off my windows when it occurred. And he had no idea about the missing time. And I texted him today saying, are you available next Saturday at around 10? And he says, why? And then I told him about the missing time. And I said, you know what, call me. And he called me and we started talking. And I gave him the whole story about how we got there to this point and why we went there. And I told him the cameras were missing. I told him how high I placed them. Then he even said, you know what, a deer hunter didn't remove those. He goes, no hunter would have taken those off.
First, they have to find them.
Yeah, first you have to find them. You guys.
Then you have to figure out how to get 15 feet up.
This is not in somebody's backyard, okay? For all those who are trying to come up with a debunking theory, I hope you can, but for people who have common sense, like this guy, Mr. Science Guy, when you're deer hunting, you are, and the shrubbery, when you walk, there's no trails. It's like you park the vehicle on this dirt road and you start walking up this, I don't know what, 40 degrees.
Yeah, and going up like 300 yards.
Yes, and then, there's no other campsite, no other people around. There's no trail.
Houses.
You got the weeds, and not weeds, but all the sticky stuff, bushes and whatever, going up to your knees, and this is where these 2 cameras were placed. So even if a hunter for boar or deer or whatever, they're walking around and they're looking downward to see if they can see anything moving. A deer is not going to be in a tree 15 feet up, so they're not going to be looking up. All right, and even if there was one deer hunter there and he says, oh, wow, check it out, 2 cameras, and, he's probably 5'5", 5'6". Even if his other buddy was there, if he would have climbed on his shoulders to try to reach it, that's only 10, 11 feet. They could not reach it still. All right. Now, could they be assholes and shoot the cameras? Sure, they could have done that, but then I would have seen bullet fragment or the bark ripped off at the point where these cameras were located, and there was none. These cameras
you would have found pieces on the ground too.
Oh yeah, and we looked all over. We didn't find anything. These cameras were not strapped around with a strap. I had these were the ones where you put in the metal screw with the 90-degree angle flat head, where you put I don't know what you call them, the black turning nods or whatever. You have to screw that into the tree, right? And then you can get the camera and you can put that on there with the little turn, the lock nut or whatever you call it, and twist it on there, and you tight it and then you maneuver it. That's what was on there. Even the hooks into the tree that I twisted in were both removed. They were both gone. They were not there. All right. And yes, I know exactly where I placed them, because I placed them there for a specific reason, because we were, trying to get something that was climbing up on another tree, and you guys know the whole story. But anyways, we had missing time. All right. Now, what's really cool and weird about this, and for those who don't know, I'm going to repeat it. As soon as we made the last turn to get to the point where we'd have to pull over to walk up this hill to get to the location of these cameras, my door, I know this is going to sound like a freaking movie.
It does.
But
it was like when we were experiencing.
But the door locks, the electric door locks were going tick, 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 tick. And at that point in time, I looked at Robert and looked at Alan. I said, which one of you guys' elbow is on the door locks, flickering it? And no one was. And that was the last thing I remember saying. And then all of a sudden, I'm awake, still driving, and hit the brake. And we went probably 300 yards maybe to where I came to a complete stop, where we totally passed our campsite that we have been going to for freaking 8 years. All right. And we know that like the back of our hands, and we passed it.
We never passed it before, ever.
In the 8 years that we've been there, we've never passed it.
And some of the times we've been going like every month.
It's
like
absolutely
real regular,
mind-boggling that this happened to us. But why?
And then while Jeffrey turns and he's looking at me, he's like, "So, where are we?" Like that. And I'm looking at him, and I can see the dash, and all the dash lights start flickering. Like the door locks are going chink, chink, chink. Well, the dash light started flickering, and
I missed that. I didn't see it
3 times and then stopped.
And I didn't see that because I was looking at Alan in the back, and then after that he said, "Dude, the lights on the dash are flickering." That's when I turned around and I missed it. Yeah. But the door locks were not flickering at that time. That was before we blanked out. So, anyways,
we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out. We talked to the hypnotist last night, and she seems to think that she could put us under. I don't know. I've never been hypnotized before, neither has Alan. So we are going to do it this Saturday, and I'm going to have Mickey Burrow here to make sure everything is on the up and up. He's going to be also on TV, and we're going to film it. I got the production crew coming in. Now, whoever is on the couch being hypnotized, the other person is going into the house and not going to be here and listening to any of what's going to be happening. All right? So that way, nothing can be put in our minds to what happened.
Okay?
No suggestions. Thank you. And that's what we're going to do. So this is going to happen. It's the first time in history, I think, anybody and any talk show host or anybody like that has ever been hypnotized. I know Steve Pierce,
Yeah, he has.
He was hypnotized, and that's on the YouTube. But of his ordeal of that day. No, not that day. It's another incident, I think. Oh, no. He was hypnotized on that day of what happened. Of when he was in the truck seeing.
Right, when Walton.
Yeah, Walton. Yeah. But they never hypnotized him on any abduction situation. It was just on that incident of that day. But for us too, there's some missing time. I don't know how much missing time occurred because I was not looking at the clock when we blanked out and came through. So I don't know if anything happened between point A, point B. But we blanked out, man, and I want to know what happened. And I figured this is going to be great TV if something did happen. So I decided that I'm going to shoot one more episode, and we're going to show it in February here in the Central San Joaquin Valley and on the CW for TV. Now, I know all you guys around the world are going, oh my God, I want to see it too. Well, I think this episode, if something did happen to us and we got it, I'm going to show it to everybody on live stream here for you guys. I have to. I'm not going to keep this from you guys. All right? This is the one episode that I have to show you guys. Because this is just incredible. And I don't know how we're going to do it yet. It's going to cost me a little bit more money to do this, so I'll have to find out how we can do this for you guys. But I don't know. I will let you know on Sunday if anything happened to us. All right?
Yeah, we'll be doing Saturday. We're going to do that, and then Sunday we'll be here.
Yeah.
So we'll tell you about it.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to tell you what happened. I'll just say I'm just probably come here and I will probably be like a zombie and I will be in white and I will be freaking out and I will tell you
like one of those coats, what they call them.
Yeah, I don't know if I got probed or not, by whom, I don't know, but we're gonna do it this Saturday. I'm telling you right now.
Straight jacket. He'll be in his straight jacket.
Yeah. So we're gonna have fun. Now, next week, you guys all know. The X-Files is coming back January the 24th, which is next Sunday at 7 o'clock West Coast time, 10 o'clock East Coast time. All right. Now, we're going to do this show an hour early at 5 o'clock. We're going to go 5 to 6:45 because I want to sit down and I want to watch the X-Files. Next week's Paranormal Central episode is going to be a X-Files episode. What you see right now behind us is all going to change for next week's show.
Miraculously change.
Okay. All you guys know, I am a X-Files fan, and I have been since the very beginning. And I'm going to prove it to you next week. I even have a cameraman coming in from my production crew who's going to manage the camera, and we're going to I'm going to show you what I have as far as X-Files stuff, what I have accumulated since the very beginning. So what you see now is totally going to be changed for next week. You guys are going to have a blast next week. It's going to be show and tell. We're going to have fun. We're going to talk X-Files. We're going to talk X-Files episodes. I'm going to show you some stuff. We're going to have a blast next week. That's what this show is all about. We're going to have some fun next week. All right, you guys? So please show up at 5 o'clock. Not 6, but 5 o'clock. 5 p.m. West Coast time. So all you on the East Coast time, 8 o'clock. All right? Not 9 o'clock. So make sure you guys remember 5 o'clock. We're going to go for an hour and 45 minutes, and I'm going to change this
for everybody in the other countries an hour earlier than whatever time you watch.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to have some fun next week. I have a blast. We're going to have a blast. And then the week after, I have somebody Skyping in from Hollywood that it's going to be cool.
An hour earlier. Okay.
Yeah, an hour earlier
than the normal time. We're going to have the show 1 hour earlier next week. Only next week.
Only next week. So instead of 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific, we're going to start at 5 o'clock because I want everybody to be able to watch the X-Files when it comes on at 7 o'clock or 10 o'clock on the East Coast. So 1 hour early next week, you guys. All right? Make sure you don't forget.
So really, the X-Files is going to be at 10 o'clock on the East Coast and 7 o'clock here?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Usually it would be 7 o'clock there and then 3 here? Or, like 7 here too, right?
I think they're doing it this way for a reason, though, and I don't know why. But because they don't want spoilers to go out and all that kind of stuff. That's what they want. That's what they're doing.
Cool.
And then the
That's
following
cool.
day on Monday is they're doing it. They're showing another episode.
Really?
On Monday. So it's going to be Sunday and then Monday and then next week. I'm thinking they're going to show it on Mondays now. I'm not sure yet, but yeah. Like I said, I am a big X-Files fan, and next week I'm going to prove it to you, and I'm going to show you what I have. It's all about having fun on the show, and I hope you guys are having fun. I'm a little kid, so I'm going to even turn into a way smaller little kid next week, because I'm going to show you my toys, and I'm going to show you all my toys in my big toy that I'm going to bring in here. It's going to be awesome. All right, we're out of here. I want to thank you for showing up tonight. I want to thank Richard Shaw for calling in, and Heidi Hollis and Danny.
Thank you, Heidi.
And all those behind the scenes, Elizabeth Martinez, Danny, Mike Smith. Thank you very much. For Alan and Jeffrey, we'll see you guys next week for X-Files special, 5 o'clock. See ya. Bye.
You have been listening to Paranormal Central with Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas. Broadcasting worldwide at ParanormalCentral.net and on ArtBell.com. Stay tuned for next time. Remember to keep your eyes to the skies. And we hope you witness something you cannot explain.